Hello, guys. This is Shar. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for returning. Now, tonight is a short overview of tonight's episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville. Now, look, everybody need therapy, okay? Everybody needs to go talk to somebody on this episode. We had more red eyes and tearing up and frowning from crying and emotions on tonight's episode than ever, basically. But well needed. I think it was well needed for Chris and his son. Definitely well needed for Tiffany and her husband. Well needed. I'll start off with Chris and Martell. Chris going over to Martell. It looks like Martell has found a new home. He's renting another spot. Leasing another spot. He's finally out of Chris Fletcher's property. Chris mentioned in his confessional that he can, in fact, move forward with selling the home. Now, is it me or did I could have swore I heard Chris say that the house was sold and that people were ready to move in, but they couldn't because Martell was still there. I could have swore I heard him say that on one of these episodes this season. But maybe not. Maybe I just thought I heard that. But yeah, so he said he could move forward with selling the house. Because I figured if he had sold it before and someone bought in and wanted to move in, but they couldn't because Martell wouldn't leave, I figured he would have mentioned that, like the house sold, but, they reneged because, Martell didn't get out in time or something like that. But he never mentioned anything like that. So, I don't know. Maybe, I guess it never sold, I guess. I don't know why I thought I heard him say that, though. But anyway, he went over to Martell's new spot. The house looks empty, like my little nephew says. He doesn't say empty. He says empty. The house looks empty. He doesn't have dining room chairs for his dining room table. Why? I do not know. I could have sworn that he has shown his dining room before in the previous house and he had chairs. But now he doesn't. He had a table with 4 chairs. It looks like it could have been a kitchen table or something like that. He had that off in the room, but they kept showing the little corner of it looks like a dining room table, but it didn't have any chairs. And he mentioned that it didn't have any chairs. So he said he had to order them. But I mean, what happened to the chairs that came with the table in the first place? Or did you just buy a table with no chairs? I don't know. Who knows with Martell? Maybe he pawned them to go get the surgery on his eyes. This man went and got surgery on his eyes and had a doctor literally take to his face with a scalpel, a baby knife, and cut the fat from under his eyes, or the bags, whatever you want to call them. Cut the bags from his eyes. Like, that's dangerous. That's serious. That's your face. Like, what if they F up? What if they don't do the surgery properly? You could come out looking crazy. Or the scarring. I mean, I guess the doctor told him that the scarring was minimal, but that don't mean that it actually is. I mean, you won't know until you know. Ooh, that was brave of him, because I don't know about that. I mean, that's not even it could be a popular procedure, but it doesn't seem like it is, but I don't know. I guess he knew what he was doing. We'll see when it heals next season or whatever. Or maybe we will get to see that it healed before the season is out. I don't know. But yeah, so Chris went over there to basically talk about, yelling at his wife or getting loud with his wife, which Chris, if you didn't know, Chris don't like confrontation. He does not like confrontation. He don't even like being direct, it seems like he was actually trying to tell Martell basically not to address Nell, not to yell at her or go off on her. Talk to him. But you couldn't really get that out of the conversation that those two had. I mean, we knew that that's what he meant, because we knew that he told his wife that he'll have a conversation with Martell about it. But I mean, when you actually heard Chris talking, you don't know what the hell Chris was saying. Like, it was almost like he was asking Martell, like, did you yell at her? Was it loud? I mean, did she was she speaking the truth, or was she lying, or I mean, was she saying something you didn't really want to hear? Or I mean, what difference do it make? The man got loud with your wife. Now, not to say you got to go over there with a 9mm and cluck him across the head, but hey, you got to let the man know, so he won't do that again, so he'll know not to cross that line again. And does Martell know not to do that again? No. Because Chris didn't approach it the right way. And hey, obviously Chris is not like that. Some people don't even like to get upset. They don't like to get mad. They don't like to get upset. They definitely don't like to get upset to the point where, things will get heated and physical and all of that. So, yeah, and Chris Fletcher seems like that type. Like I said, his expression don't barely move. He barely raises his voice. We saw that he does have emotions, because he seemed emotionless, not in a negative way. It's just that he doesn't show it on his face very often. And so we saw him get emotional when he talked to his son, Chris, and he heard some things coming from his son that didn't sound positive, that didn't sound healthy. It sounded like his son was going down the wrong direction. And to him, it seems as though Chris may have been depressed. So Chris feels. And that upset him to hear that. It hurt him to hear that his son was seeming as though he was depressed or troubled. And that, he just didn't want to get bad news about his son in the future. So he told him basically, whenever you want to talk, whenever you need me, I'm here. No matter what time it is, 2:00 in the morning, call me. Instead of going out here. What did he even say he was going? I didn't even catch that. Did he say studio, or I don't even know what he said. But he's going out wee hours of the night like that, and I'm quite sure it's not safe. Like, I know Huntsville a little smaller, a little slower, but you know what they say, nothing positive is going on at those times of night. So yeah, he probably don't need to be hopping up, going out wherever he was going. So, and his son did say that he would consider therapy. So hopefully he gets the therapy that he needs. So speaking of therapy, we'll talk about Kiki and Tiffany. They met over Stormy, encouraged them to talk. They agreed to go over Stormy's as they were in her guest house. I don't know, something about somebody left the air on and it froze, and now the air don't work, and it was hot as heck in there. So maybe they should have sat outside. It might have been better if they could have got breeze from outside, but hey, it is down south, so maybe it wasn't no breeze. Maybe it was just hot. Okay. But yeah, they was up in there. Tiffany finally came, and Kiki was ready for her. Of course, she came with her bodyguard, which is baby Ace. She knew it wasn't gonna be no swinging or no flower bringing with that baby. But then again, Tiffany ain't really got nobody to watch the baby anyway. I mean, she got family, but the baby's that small. You don't really want to part with your child, unless you absolutely have to. Plus, the baby breastfeeds, but she could have pumped. But hey, again, she don't really need to leave her baby with nobody when the baby is that small anyway. I know I wouldn't. When the kids are that little, you want to keep the kids with you. But yeah, needless to say, wasn't nothing going down with the baby there. So, because Kiki was ready. Okay, she was ready. She was on the edge of that couch. She was ready. And you saw some of the clips that I put in here at the beginning of this video of Kiki's eyes. I caught that. I rewind my TV, like, go back to that. Do you see her eyes, how she's looking? Not to mention that she used the eyeshadow as eyeliner, kind of like Superwoman or Batwoman or Batman, I don't know. But she did the eyeshadow with and did it like eyeliner almost. But not only that, her eyes, how she was staring at Tiffany, she was heated. Tiffany knew, and she felt that energy, like, no, she better be somber and humble, all those things, because, but like I said, she couldn't hit her because she had the baby. But yeah, Tiffany was ready for her. She was sitting on 10. So hopefully they we heard them chop it up, get their frustrations out, and basically the gist is what it always is as it relates to Tiffany. She does a lot of talking about stuff she don't know nothing about, or she say things when she shouldn't say them, and then when people check her about it, she get to backpedaling and saying this and I didn't say that and this and that, and she still in her confessional was like, basically saying it was like me and Kiki. No, it was Kiki kind of always having to address you about stuff that you were saying about her that you knew nothing about, like she said. So it wasn't like a me and you going back and forth. It's a me always having to, get on you or check you about something you saying about me. But yeah, so, I guess going forward, they are okay. Tiffany has mentioned with her and Lou was in a scene together on this particular episode, and they've mentioned that the show may be a factor. It's not the only thing that's going on. Life is definitely lifing for a lot of the characters on the show. Tiffany and her husband is one of them. And, Tiffany wanted this baby so bad, and they were already really busy people. So they let on. He's busy with his coaching of baseball up at these colleges or universities or whatever. And she does what she does. I don't know why she thought it was going to get better or easier. She seemed like she's longing for something to fill in a gap or a void. And she wanted to fill it, and she thought the baby would fill it. I don't know. That's just what it seems like to me. I mean, I'm not right. I'm not wrong. It's just my opinion, But that's what it seemed like. And then she's getting this really, really hard slap in the face. Like, dang, I made it worse. Because now I got this baby we got to take care of. And it's like, didn't you know that? Like, didn't you realize that? But, hey, maybe not. But they are, or at least Lou. I'm not sure if she realized that. But at least her husband is realizing that they need to take a step back together as a family and work on each other, work on the marriage. Tiffany needs to take more time for herself to figure things out and to leave this reality show stuff alone for a while, because it is serious business when you talk about mental health and postpartum depression and things like that. We all know the seriousness of postpartum depression and how serious it can get, what moms can do to themselves and their kid. You know what I mean? And it's not good. It's things that they can't come back from. So, she don't want to play around with that for real. So, Tiffany is definitely not my favorite person on the show, but I definitely don't want to see anything happen to her or her baby. So, hopefully they'll take the time that they need. I guess next season we won't see them. But maybe he'll come back later. I've already talked about this, how Andy Cohen kind of switches the girls out, tells them to sit out for a season and then brings them back at a later time, later date, another season. Maybe Carlos King will start to adapt to that and do that. Or maybe we won't see Tiffany, ever again, at least on the show. So we'll see. But, prayers go up for her and her family. And that's real because, like I said, I don't really care for her on the show, but I don't have nothing against her on a personal level. And I definitely don't want to see anything bad happen to her or her baby, So, yeah. But what's next? Chris and his son, Chris and Chris. They were in Chris's office, and you know, Chris was asking his son what he felt about the dinner. Chris, the son, was feeling like people were kind of just getting all on him, getting all on his case. Seems like Chris is the common denominator, though. The brother, the other brother, the sister, obviously the mom, Nell, all of them had gripes with Chris. And, it was revealed in the conversation between the two Chris's that he seemed to be a little kind of scattered all over the place, a little troubled. So, all these gripes might be valid. You know what I mean? Whatever the gripes that they got going on with him, they may be valid. Because, he did admit that he is a little troubled. He didn't say those words, but, kind of how he's moving is kind of a little bit destructive. Chris picked up on that and got a little sentimental because he was just probably thinking, as a father, thinking the worst. Like, if it gets any worse, if it gets out of hand, we might end up getting a call saying something happened to him. So, he was concerned as a father, and he's basically saying, hey, if you need anything, if you need me, call me, reach out to me. Don't hesitate. Stop being distant. Get at me. If it's 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, call me. I'd rather you do that than go out here in the street. I didn't even hear where he says he goes at 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning. Did he say the studio? I didn't even hear it. I couldn't pick up on what he said, but yeah, I would imagine that it is dangerous. I mean, it is Huntsville, a little slower, but just like we've always heard, it's nothing good going on at that time of night anywhere, pretty much. So yeah, hopefully, and he did state out of his own mouth that maybe he'll get therapy, maybe he'll talk to somebody, and hopefully he does, because life is lifing for a lot of us, on the show, off the show, me, you, life can life, and it can get serious real quick for people. So hopefully Chris will get the help, sit down and talk to somebody. And it's rough for men because men are not emotional creatures for the most part, and they consider talking to somebody corny, or for women, or they figure it doesn't work. Their egos get involved and pride gets in their way a lot. It's a whole lot of men I know that would benefit to talk to someone, but they won't. They just won't, because for those reasons, they feel like it's corny. It's a stigma of talking to somebody as if you're crazy, and it's not even really about that. It's just really talking to somebody, getting things off your chest, and you'll be surprised how good you feel after you kind of just release all these things, all your innermost thoughts, just voicing them out. And the person is just kind of just really listening, not judging you. You know what I mean? How a friend would do, or a family member. As family, we'll throw something back at you, like, didn't you say that to her first, or didn't you do this, or why was you even there? You know what I mean? Like, you don't want to hear that when you're kind of like just voicing your thoughts. You know what I mean? You want somebody to just listen. So yeah, life is lifing for a lot of the characters on the show. Thelma and Louise, that's what I call them. Thelma and Louise, they went to a yoni spot. Kimmy's still trying to get her libido back up. She's trying to please her husband physically. I guess she's healed, But she did mention that whatever medication that she had to use or take post radiation, post chemo, killed her libido, basically. It basically killed her sex drive. So how the heck, is she off the medication? I would imagine she's off the medication, but I haven't heard her say, on the show, yay or nay. But if she's not off the medication, then why even go through all this stuff? Because you already know you told us that the medication kills your libido. So if you still own it, why would you even be going through all this? But maybe she's off of it, maybe she's off of it, and it takes a while for your libido to come back. I don't know. But anyway, they went to this spot. Obviously, she figures that this cleansing of the hoo-ha or the vajayjay will stimulate something. I thought it was just a stimulation of the vajayjay. I didn't know it had anything to do with bringing or enhancing a libido. I thought it was just like a cleansing type of procedure. But I could be wrong. I don't know all the ins and outs of it, but I thought it was just cleansing. I didn't think it would do anything for the libido, but the woman says it does, or it can, so I guess it can. But she mentioned that it will make her more moist. But just because you're moist doesn't mean she will have an urge to have what. She can be moist, but that don't mean she will still have this urge that she don't have. You know what I mean? But hey, what do I know? I don't really know that much about it. The woman says it will enhance it, so I guess it will. Hopefully it will, because she definitely needed to be enhanced with the man she dealing with. And here it is on the next episode. He don't even want to put up a picture. But anyway, yeah. What else? Did I cover everything? Because this episode was a little bit slow out the driveway as well. Mel wasn't on this episode at all. And even Mel was emotional over the holiday weekend. I seen a couple of clips from her over the weekend. She was out there with her brother having a good time, dancing, made tons of food. But she said she hopped in her car before the night was over and said she wanted to go home. She just was feeling sentimental and wanted to go home. Made it home safely, thank God. And got on live, and she was basically talking about the website 7th Avenue. Everything was on sale, and that she just bailed from her brothers in the middle of the night and felt a little sentimental and all that. And that was that. I mean, she came on live. I seen that she was doing live a couple of times. I never did get on live to actually view her videos, because I'm doing Thanksgiving with the family as well, just as all of you were. So I didn't really pick up my phone. I kind of was looking at it like, who's going live or whatever, and I saw it was Mel, but I didn't really actually look at the video. So, and I did see a clip after that on YouTube of her mentioning that she was a little sad and had got a little sentimental. She didn't really specify. She said she'll talk about it at a later date. So I guess she'll talk about it at a later date. Mel had a single that came out, a Christmas song. I forgot the name of it. I don't know. What was the name of it? But the video is very good, so they say. I saw clips of the video as well. I haven't even seen the video yet, but she does have a male lead in the video, and her and the male lead was kind of hugged up a little bit. Looked like they was on a couch or a chair, and I think Mel was on his lap, or they were sitting close next to each other. The man kissed her or something like that. Yeah, we know Martell is mad. He gonna pull something. He might pull something out of his hat. Anytime he feel like Mel is talking about a man or acting like she got a boyfriend or what he may think is a boyfriend, he get crazy and he do something real stupid. So hopefully he won't do nothing real stupid this time. I mean, because he can't afford it. He can't afford for no, he can't afford to be doing nothing crazy. Especially right now. I mean, he already tried to pull that mess with the video. I believe they going to court for that at some point. Jury's still out on that. But, yeah. So, yeah. You guys tell me what you think about this video. What do you think about Tiffany and Lou leaving the show? As I mentioned in a few videos back, that they maybe need to bow out for now, at least for now, until she can get her emotions together. I think Stormy needs to go as well. I don't know. They just don't really do much for the show. As I mentioned, bring the Fletchers on full time. And yeah, you guys tell me what you think. Drop down in the comments. Like the video. Please subscribe. Hit your notifications. Until next time. Bye.